Hello everyone, welcome to this options trading talk number 24 between Raghunath and me. This week Raghunath is back and let me take a look at the charts before we go to him. He'll of course have something interesting for us. So coming to charts, everything is looking very bullish. In fact, last week I remember I had given a caution on the basis of the 12,200 call. The market didn't bother about what I didn't care about what I thought because it just gapped up above that resistance and has never looked back. I had given some resistance of on 12,200 call near 240 or 250. There was a big gap up on Monday, and after that, market has not looked back. So, luckily, there was no. I mean, because of that, there was no question of shorting it because of the gap up. And after that, there has been a relentless run. There was a pause over the last 2 3 days. So whether that pause is before another run up or not, that we'll have to see. But right now the trend is up, no doubt about that. And if you look at VIX, that is still trending down. Of course, I have not yet updated yesterday's data, but it is still down. So as long as VIX is below, closing below 22, 23, we still have low volatility. But what I would like to comment today is on few stocks because, like I said, there is no sign of any exhaustion in Nifty yet, even on the options charts. So for the timing, we'll concentrate on other stocks, out of which I have selected three today. The first one is ITC. If you remember, I had talked about the bottom in ITC very close to 165, 170. After that, it has gone all the way to 190. Very unlike ITC, it is, I mean, very rarely it moves like this. So now what? I think based on the options charts, look at this 190 call. This shows me that it has reached a level of resistance which is near 4.5. So 190, 195 will be a resistance on ITC, and that is where it opened yesterday. And everyone knows that typically on Diwali day, stocks and indices drift downwards after opening higher. So this ITC call, 190 call, is giving a hint of a top out at least for this expiry. So uh, if any longs, they should be trailed tightly, or you can look at shorting this call also with the stop loss above 5, something like that. But yet, if you look at the put, 190 put, that is not yet giving any sign of strength. In fact, it has given a big turtle breakdown. So this is a 1% chart. Even on a 3% chart, on a 1% chart, it has to rise above 6. Only then it will show strength. So it is not a question of ITC coming down sharply or something like that. It might go sideways. So this put will provide an answer in the coming week after Tuesday. If this rises above 6, that means ITC will come down sharply. If this remains range bound between 6, 7, and 5, or maybe even lower, then ITC might remain range bound between 185, 195. So one thing is sure that longs should be trailed. Maybe you can hedge it with this shorting this call, 190 call with the stop loss above 5. I think Raghunath is going to talk about that itself today. So ITC was one stock. Lupin is another stock where I had talked about weakness in Lupin, and it did follow that last week. And I had talked about this resistance near that was a 920 put 54. It went well beyond that. And after that, this 900 put is showing weakness. You can see this big anchor column on 10th and 11th. And then even after that, it is making lower tops and lower bottoms, which indicates there is some support for Lupin. Whether that support gets translated to a call chart, we'll have to see the 900 call. So there was an anchor column at the lows when Lupin made a low well below, I think, 880 or 870. After that, there are good anchor columns and column of X on the 900 call. So if this column, which has a high near 44 and low near 29, these levels will be the deciding levels for Lupin. So whether Lupin becomes stronger or remains sideways, one thing is that the put chart shows that it is not weak anymore. So basically, it is like a buy on dip. But if this call crosses 44, then it will be a real strength in Lupin. This is a 900 call. The third stock is Bajaj Finance. It has gone up relentlessly, I think more than 10% last week. But now this 4400 call, in fact, the highest OI of the call also is here only. This is showing some signs of topping out. Over the last 3 days, Bajaj Finance goes near 4400 and again gets sold off intraday. And the sell off is also quite fast, something like 50, 60, 70 rupees within 5-10 minutes. That is what I have seen. So this call keeps rising, but it has not yet been able to cross this high, and this has become flat. So keep a watch on 4400 call. If this turns down sharply, then this 4300 put can give a good trade. So again, this is not something which is a trading advice. You have to do your own analysis. And if 4400 call comes down sharply, and if this 4300 put starts rising sharply, there is a trade there. So these are the three stocks which I wanted to talk about, and otherwise everything is bullish. And of course, Brett remains overbought. So maybe we might have a pause for a couple of days or maybe even a couple of weeks. And now that Diwali trading is over, I wouldn't be surprised to see at least few weeks or few days of sideways activity. And like I said, the calls are also showing signs of exhaustion. So it will be an interesting week where I guess the momentum will die down. And problem is on Monday we are closed. So again on Tuesday opening, the global cues will dictate the opening, and then we'll have to take it from there. Yeah, thank you. That's all from my side. So I'll make you the presenter, Raghunath, now.
Okay. Hello guys. So this week I have a interesting topic. It's called covered call. Okay. So I think this many people might be aware of already, because this is a kind of strategy which involves an option as well as buying stocks in cash market, and use this strategy as a way of reducing the cost basis. What you mean by cost basis is the price at which you bought that particular stock in cash. So you want to reduce that cost basis. Then you use this strategy called covered call. So this standard disclaimer. So let's look at what is covered call. Covered call is a common strategy used to reduce the cost basis of stock shares over the time. In a covered call strategy, we sell an out-of-the-money call option against the stock shares we hold. Idea is to keep accumulating the premium received by selling the call option and thus reducing the cost basis. Now, the disadvantage of covered call here is that the upside potential is capped if the stock is very bullish. Because we are selling a call, we are capping the upside potential if the stock goes up very strongly. Now let's look at some mechanics of this. So here I am just showing in futures, but just imagine that this is you bought in cash. Now this is a long stock or a long futures, and sometimes you can also use futures, but this is for another day. So this is a long stock, and it's pretty straightforward. It's a 50-50% chance whether you will be in loss or whether you will be in a profit, depending on how the stock moves. Now in a covered call, you sell a 30 delta out of the money option. It depends on certain conditions on which kind of how far away the out of the money option that you have to use to sell the call option. So ideally it should be a 30 delta call option. So now I took example of TCS. So we bought at this price, and then we sold a 30 delta call option, and this is how it looks. Your maximum profit, the upside potential, is capped, but your downside loss or the max loss, it's not capped. Because you are trying to buy this in cash market, you are not worried about the downside of this particular stock. Okay, so where should you do this covered call strategy? What are the ideal stocks that you should use? Choose stocks on which you are bullish and have long-term prospects and with a strong legacy. For example, large cap stocks which have low beta, like TCS, HDFC Bank, ITC, Reliance. These are all stocks which are most of the time are bullish and have long-term prospects, and which have a strong legacy. Strong legacy in the means they have been existing for a long time in the market, and you know that the management is very strong. So, and also large cap. When you have that kind of characteristics, then you are sure that this stock is not going to go down a lot, or go down by 50, 60, 70%. So you have to look for those kinds of stocks. And if you choose these large cap and blue chip stocks, they usually have good liquidity in options. So it allows you easy entry and easy exit, when you're in a covered call strategy if something goes wrong. As well as it has low impact cost because of it have a good bid-ask pricing in the options. Your impact cost also will be very less in these particular stocks. And what kind of stocks you should avoid? You should avoid high beta mid-cap stocks like Adani Enterprises, DHFL, S Bank, which are very volatile and which are also, they can go down by 60, 70, 80%. You don't know how these stocks will behave. And, management of these kind of stocks are, kind of sketchy and all that. So you have to be extremely careful when choosing these stocks. So it's better to avoid these kind of stocks. And also they have very low liquidity in the options, and also because of the low liquidity, the impact cost will also be higher. Now, this covered calls is ideal when this is done on a portfolio of stocks instead of a single stock. Like you have a portfolio of blue chip stocks or large cap stocks, then that's ideal condition for you to do covered call strategy instead of just one stock, because it will offset if there are some losses in covered call. If you do it on a portfolio, it will one stock strategy will offset the loss from the other stocks. So how to initiate a covered call? So you buy a stock's shares equivalent to the number of the lot size of that particular stock in FNO. For example, in this presentation, I talk about TCS. So TCS lot size currently is 250, and it has been 250 for a long time. So here you have to buy 250 shares of TCS, right?
I think it is 300 now. 300.
It's okay. It's 300 now. So it has been for 250 for a long period.
Yeah.
So alternatively, what you can do, you can also buy futures as a proxy of the underlying stock. Okay, this is as an alternative. But and I'll show what are the advantages of buying in cash, and what is the advantage or disadvantage of buying in futures. Now you sell a 30 delta out of the money call option when around 30 to 35 days before expiry to collect the premium. So usually what happens is that you will not have liquidity until the last week of current expiry for the next month expiry. So usually what happens is that you will have no liquidity before 30 to 35 days to expiry for the next month. So usually selling a 30 delta call option at 30 to 35 delta 30 to 35 days to expiry, it yields 1.5% to 2% premium as a percentage of spot price. Okay. Now our aim in this covered call strategy is to extract at least 1% premium every month. So when I say 1%, it's a 1% as a percentage of spot price. So 1% premium every month and 12% annually. This is ideal scenario. and this sometimes you might get even more, sometimes even you might get even less. So ideally, this is what you should target. Now, imagine that in stocks, this premium is 100%, right? 100% is the stock price. So you are trying to extract 12% premium, which means you're reducing the cost basis for your stock by 12% every year. So, what are the pros and cons with shares and futures? So, like if you buy in cash and if you buy in futures, what are the advantages and disadvantages? So, capital requirement. So, when you buy in cash, you have to uh, put the full capital to buy the shares. While in the case of futures, you will get a 4 to 5x leverage, but you have to furnish the MTM. If it goes negative, then you have to furnish that negative MTM. So you have to maintain that mark to market of for the futures, so that you don't get a margin call. So that you have to keep in mind. Now margin for selling the call. So in the case if you buy in cash, you can pledge this shares to your brokerage, and after some haircut, you get a margin amount which you can use to sell the call option. So shares can be pledged to get that margin. While in the case if you use futures as your option, long stock option, then you have to additionally furnish the margin for the selling the call option. Now rollover. Now there are no rollover costs because you're not buying a future. But in the case of futures, since you're buying a future, it incurs a rollover cost because every month you have to buy at a premium to the spot price, because there is this additional premium that exists in the futures. So you have to keep that in mind, that there are rollover costs associated with the futures. Now dividend. Now if the company gives you a dividend, that dividend gets captured if you buy this in cash market. But in the case of futures, the dividend doesn't get captured. So keep that in mind. Now, what are the tax implications? Now, if you buy in cash and you keep it for 2 years, then then only you will get this LTCG benefit. But in the case of futures, this will be treated as a business income. So this might, depending on where your tax tier is, then you will be charged a different tax much higher than the LTCG. So these are the things that you have to keep in mind, whether you want to use the cash market for going long, or in the futures market for going long. So coming to an example, let's look at an example of covered call. So now this is TCS. This was in January of 2009, and this is a Jan expiry. The lot size was around 250. So at the beginning of the expiry of the Jan 2009 expiry, the stock price was 1898. So if I bought, so this is for futures. So if I bought this for full cash, this will be around 1898 into 250, around roughly around 5 lakhs. You have to put 5 lakhs of cash to buy this TCS the long stock, because you have to match to the lot size of the TCS, right? Because we are selling one lot size of call option, so you have to match 250. Okay, so we bought at 1898 and we sold a call option, 30 delta call option which is around 2000 call. 2000 call, okay, here. So your max profit will be 32,650 and it is capped. So how do you calculate the maximum profit here? Is the difference between the strike price where you sold this call option minus the price at which you bought your stock plus the premium that you have received multiplied with the 250, the lot size, then you'll get the maximum profit. So your cost of acquisition at this point of time is 1898. Okay. So we have to exit this covered call on the Monday of the last week of expiry. So why I'm saying Monday of the last week of expiry? Because now they are charging a higher margin if you are going to hold it in the last week of expiry. Okay. So you need to exit on Monday of expiry, and also you have a gamma effect as well. Okay. So ideally you should exit on Monday of last week of expiry. So on Monday of last week of expiry of Jan 2019, the stock price was 1958, just below your call option that you have sold. So you have gained around 5,425 from your call option. So this is equivalent to 21.7 points. So this is the number of points that you have gained with this particular strategy. Of course, you're already in profit with your stock, but you're not worried about stock because you're in this particular stock for a long term. Now, this depends on you what is long term. Now we roll over the call option to the next month at the start of February 2019 expiry. Now again, here the stock price is 2014. Now imagine that you are still long in that at the same price, which is 1898, right? You're still at the long in that particular stock. Now you're selling a 30 delta call option, which is a 2080 call option. Now we'll go to expiry. On the Monday of that particular expiry, it expired around 1989, so much below your call option strike. So from this we get 6,250, so around 25 points of gain. And the same with March, you sold a 2100 call, 30 delta call, and then again it on Monday of March expiry, it expired much below the call option strike. So you gained 19.7 points. So overall, in the 3 months, you gained 66 points. So you accumulated 66.4 points using this covered call strategy. And your cost of acquisition is 1898 in the beginning. And you subtract the points that you've accumulated. So your cost of your acquisition is 1822. This is your new price of acquisition. So imagine if you keep continuing this for a year, so on an average you are getting 22 points, right? Now imagine, so you are getting 22 points, 22 into 12, sorry, 22 into 12, so around 264 points. So if this continues and you accumulate 264 points, so your cost of acquisition of TCS will be 1634. Now this is ideal scenario I'm talking about, right? So this is how covered call strategy is useful to reduce your cost of acquisition of your stock. And that is why it is important that you choose the proper stocks, not just shady stocks. Now this will not be ideal all the time. So sometimes what happens is that the stock can also breach and go above your strike of your call option as well. So in that case, then you have to make a decision whether you want to exit the whole position or what you want to do, which I'll talk in the next slide. So what are the exit strategies? Now, the exit strategy is here to roll over to the next month expiry on Monday of expiry week if the call remains out of the money or at the money. So as long as your stock price, okay, your stock price remains below or exactly here or below this the call option strike price, you keep rolling over to the next month your call option. Okay, 30 delta every time, 30 delta, 30 delta. You keep rolling over and keep accumulating points. Okay. Now, if the call option becomes in the money at any point of time, that is when the stock tests the call option. Okay. As I said, if the stock tests your call option here, okay, then what will you do? You can exit the whole position, stock plus call option with profit. Now remember, imagine that if in this March month, okay, in the March month, it has breached this particular point, it went, maybe to 2100 or 2200. Imagine 2200. Then you got the profit from your long stock option up to 2200, and you lost only how much? 100 minus your the call option premium that you've received. So you lose around 80 points on your call option, but you gain on your stock 1898 to 2200. So let's imagine this is 1900 to 2200. That will become 300 points minus 80 because of the loss it has breached here. So you have 220 points of profit even after it has breached your call option. So you can still exit the whole position with profit. There is no problem. But if you're in this stock for a long term and you don't want to exit, then that's fine. What you can do here is that whenever that call option, this strike has been tested, you can cover the call option by accepting a minor loss. Okay, you accept the minor loss and you just stay away for that expiry. You don't do anything. That is one option. The another option is you roll out the call option. Rollout means you move to the next expiry if it is available, depending on, if you are very close to expiry, then you might, the next month options might be available. But if the stock has breached your call option strike much early in the current expiry, then your next month expiry might not be available options. Then you cannot do anything in that case. But if they are available, then you roll out to the next month expiry to the same strike or an higher strike. Okay. Now the fourth option is to roll up the call option, that is to move to a higher strike. So what you do is that you cover the 2100 call here, and then you move to maybe 2200 call or 2300 call, something like that. So you have four options to decide if the stock tests your call option strike. Okay, so those are the four options that you have to decide and choose your exit strategy. So it depends on whether you want to stay in this stock for a long haul or you want to exit here with profit. Okay, so that is how you have to reduce your cost basis for your using this covered call strategy. Now imagine doing this for multiple stocks, 4 or 5 stocks of portfolio. Then this covered call strategy And if you're staying this in these stocks for a very long haul, then this is a much better strategy than simply a long buy and hold strategy. AP, I'm done.
Yeah, there are a couple of things.
Okay.
In fact, I covered this as a part of my one-day seminar, and
Okay.
a lot of people have gained out of it. And in fact, there are slightly more returns based on what I suggest. I'll just quickly go through few slides, few
Okay.
charts. I'll just make
Okay.
myself presenter because this
Okay.
is a slightly different way to approach it. Can you see
Okay.
trade point now?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, I talk about using the options charts rather than just go with the 30 delta, because what happens is, like you said, the exit strategy is important. There are cases. I'll just take an example of, let's say you quoted TCS. So
Yes.
let's say TCS on the expiry day on in October was 29th October. It was near 2700. So take the first, it was slightly below 2700. So first out of the money call, that is 2700 call. So that was strong in the first few days. In fact, I remember I had covered it as a long trade, but after that
Yeah.
it became weak. So
Okay.
sell it on a double bottom sell below the moving average. Let's say you got a sell here, which was near 66, and then trail it. If you are lucky,
Okay.
if TCS expires below 2700, this call will go to zero. So that is one way.
Yes.
If it rises, in any case, TCS is going to rise. Your stop loss is here, which is 89.90. So you are going to lose only 20 rupees. And then after that, the stock is going to rise because the call is rising. And then you just write the call because that is in cash. I don't
Yes.
advocate futures because this is a long-term delivery. That is number one.
Yeah.
Second example is Reliance. Reliance was near 2050 on October expiry, and then there was one small uptick over here. So I'm taking the 2100 call. This is the 2100 call. So this was the place around
Mm.
30th October where it gave a triple bottom sell below 62, and it went all the way down to 21. So it already gave 40 points. After that, it rose again, but never crossed the previous high. It is again back to 19. So this was one trade of Reliance. Third trade I'm going to talk about is there are cases when the stock goes up continuously and there is no reason to sell a call. This is Tata Steel is the
Yeah.
example. So this was on October expiry 29th, where Tata Steel was around 400. After that, Tata Steel, if you take the 400 call, because it was slightly below, that has never given a sell. This is
Mm.
the October end. After that, even if you sell it here, it got stopped out immediately. After that, Tata Steel has gone up continuously from 400 all the way to, I think, 495 yesterday. And this call or any other call has never given a sell. And so you are secure with your cash and you don't need to sell a call. And
Yeah.
sell a call only when it shows weakness. And that way, you talked about, I think, 15 to 20% per year, right? Or how much was that?
12% ideally.
12%. So this way it gives about 20 to 25% per year, and if done religiously with cash as the backup, this ensures that every 4 5 years your cash holding becomes free of cost. That is the
Yeah.
idea
Exactly.
behind it.
Exactly.
So of course
So yeah.
this can be covered in more detail. I just gave three examples quickly just to show how it can be done on the basis of charts. Both, I mean, what you said is the conventional way, which a lot of people have been doing for ages. This is
Yeah.
something new which a lot of people are not aware. That's why I talked about it here. Yeah, that's all from my side.
Yeah. I mean, this is a nice way also doing, because when you sell a, I said 30 delta call, so you
Hmm.
can also use 30 delta call chart, and then you can
Exactly. Yeah.
exit whenever it gives, double top buy. You
Absolutely.
use that as
Yeah.
a stop loss. That is also one way of looking at this.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, I mean, this
So
is a
what
good
happens
idea.
is when a strong stock is in a strong uptrend, that prevents you from selling any calls, and that's fine because if the
Yeah,
stock is going up, that is what you want.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
So you just stay. I mean, you don't do anything. You wait for again. You whenever you get chance in the next expiry, and then you go
yeah.
to next
Wait for the
expiry
sell
and
signal. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah. So
Okay,
this is
yeah,
one way. I mean,
that's nice.
anyway, okay, that's all. So I could have gone on and on. I can cover it for 1 or 2 hours with various examples, but we don't have time now. So
Yeah,
anyway, so that's all
yeah,
from your side.
yeah. That's all. I just wanted to say that there are multiple adjustments. I only today I only talked about few, but there are
Huh.
much more number of adjustments which I might
Okay.
talk in next one or maybe in future.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.